Hello, welcome back everyone. Thank you for joining us, Phillip, Wain, Hong Kong, Inspire member, Malay, Thailand, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today, our class, we're going to be talking about mobility. Today we'll be mostly focusing on our hip and ankle, okay? So it'll be great for you if you've been sitting all day and if your hip flexor feel tight, your lower back doesn't feel all that great, ankle kind of feels wonky, this exercise is great for you. However, just a full warning, today's class is going to be a little bit more difficult. It will require a little bit more mobility, okay, a little bit more range of motion. If you find it way too difficult, remember you can always go back to a previous video and start from there. So today's class will be roughly around 45 minutes, okay? You won't be needing any equipment today. Grab your waddle, your mat, you'll be all set, okay? So let's get started. Today we're going to start always when we want to exercise, we want to warm up first. We don't want to hurt ourselves. So first of all, let's do some stretch. So first drill, we're going to get down into our plank form, okay? Place our palms right underneath our shoulder, okay? From here, we want to step up with one foot, placing the foot right beside our palm, okay? In this position, there's a small tip. Remember, don't just put all your body weight into your palm. Apply a little bit more weight into your leading foot, okay? And external rotate your thigh and push your hip a little bit more down towards the ground. Now, if you're finding this to be way too difficult, okay, it's hurting way too much and you're lacking that range of motion, and you look something like this, you're allowed to place that back knee on the ground so that you'll have an easier time to push your hip all the way down. However, if this movement is way too easy for you, find it, wow, this doesn't challenge me at all, you can replace your palms with your elbow. But remember, when you're doing this exercise, when you're on your elbow, don't pop your butt up, don't pop your back up. Push your hip down, bring your body close to the ground. Now hold this position. You want to hold this position for around 5 breaths. Okay, so inhale, hold that breath for a couple of seconds, exhale. Inhale, second breath. 3. Actively press your foot into the ground. 5. All right, place that back knee down and switch our legs. Okay, switch to the other side, same thing. If it is too easy, okay, regress. If it is too easy, progress. If it is too hard, regress. Okay, from here, hold 5 breaths. If you find it to be easier now, after a couple of seconds, push your hip a little bit further down towards the ground. Always try to challenge yourself. Hold that breath. And 5, good. And from here, we'll go back into we can move on to our next drill. So from our next drill, we're gonna probably want to warm up our ankle too, because today we'll be doing a little bit of squatting. So first thing first, we're going to do a little bit of a runner stretch. Place the top of your foot onto the ground, okay? If you're having difficulty with this exercise, you're allowed to place your hand behind your body to help you alleviate some of the weight. But if you are a little bit more advanced and you have that range of motion, go ahead, apply your body weight right into the top side of your foot. Sit all the way down if possible. Now, a small tip with this drill is that your foot, you're not overly rotating outward or inward like so, okay? Just flatly on the ground. All your toes should be able to touch the ground, okay? If not, slowly work at it. Remember, mobility is entirely subjective. You will slowly increase your range of motion and improve in your mobility, okay? So we're gonna hold this position for another couple of breaths. So another great tip is when you're in this position, don't do it passively, do it actively. With the top side of your foot, push down into the ground like you're trying to lift your body up from the ground, but obviously we don't want to create any motion right now. We just want that tension in our muscle and our joint. So hold, remember 5 breaths, remember breathe, okay? After that 5 breaths, you can take the pressure off your ankle, place one of your foot right beside your knee, apply your body weight into that ankle to create dorsiflexion, because in that squat, we'll need to have great ankle mobility to allow our knee to slide past our toes, okay? And during this drill and this exercise, there is a tip to remember. Remember, don't lift your heel off the ground, okay? Keep that heel glued to the ground while your knees slide forward, applying pressure into that foot actively, okay? And you should be feeling that this muscle over here, the tibialis anterior, and also your quad should start to burn a little bit. Your muscles starting to get tired, and that will be perfect. Hold for around another 5 breaths, okay? Then switch side. Again, foot should be right beside your ankle, right beside your knee. Apply body weight. Spread your toes if possible, okay? Allow that knee to travel beyond your toes. Apply weight. Remember that heel does not lift off the ground. Apply a little bit more weight if you are able to. If not, just your body weight. Hold. Again, 5 breaths. Remember to breathe. Up for 51. Hold. All right, very good. Okay, so that will be our first warm-up. Our next warm-up, we're gonna start to warm up our butt and our adductors inside our thigh. So we're gonna go in to our 90-90 sit. So our 90-90 sit, just a quick tip. The leading leg, the knee, should be right in front of our hip flexor. Not away, not inward, but directly in front, okay? And your ankle or your foot should be pointed forward, okay? Creating a 90-90 angle. Side, thigh, the other leg should be right beside us, okay? And the foot, again, dorsiflexion. So from this position, we're gonna turn, face our leading leg, and turn towards our ankle. And slowly drop our body down so we can load that joint up with some pressure and weight. Okay? Now, if you're having a hard time with this drill, like if your thigh isn't able to touch the ground when you're doing this motion, you can put a little bit of body weight into your elbow and force that thigh down. But if you're like me, you already have okay range of motion to play with the side of your thigh, press down like you're trying to crush a sponge ball right underneath your thigh. And so from this angle, you're gonna reach down and hold the position. Now you should be feeling a lot of tension and contraction sensation happening in the crease of your thigh, your hip flexors right here. So give it a couple seconds, remember to breathe. Usually I do it for 5 to 10 breaths, okay? So all you have to do is inhale and exhale. Okay, actively do the exercise. Remember, try to touch the ground with the outside of your thigh. 4 and 5. Good. And so from this, we can switch our foot to the other side. Okay, same thing, 90-90. Work. Okay, turn your body over towards your ankle. If you're having trouble, use your elbow. Okay, reach down again. 5 to 10 breaths. In with the nose, out with the mouth. Couple breaths. Fantastic. Okay, we're gonna do this for one more time. Just because most of the time when we're at home or even in the office, we spend a lot of time sitting, so our hip is usually locked in a certain range of motion. So we really want to prep them to make sure we're not going to hurt them, okay? So go back into your 90-90 again. The other leg, the knee will be the right leg this time. Okay, turn away, apply pressure, okay, touch the ground, hold. Very good. Okay, one last time, a switch. Excellent. And remember, 5 breaths, 5 to 10. 1, 2, 3. Remember, try to go a little bit deeper, a little bit lower, if possible. Work at your own range of motion. 4. 5. Awesome, very good. So we're gonna go back into our plank and foot up stretch, but this time Instead of placing our foot right beside our palm, we're gonna place it inside. Okay, it's gonna be a narrow stand. But again, remember, foot touches the ground, external rotate your thigh. Okay, if possible, go to your elbow. You should be a little bit better this time. Okay, after those couple warm up. So a great tip is right now. So Andrea right here. Oh, Andrea, keep going. Yeah, that's your jaw. Yeah. So her heel is starting to lift off the ground, right? So maybe she's not ready to be on the elbow. 可以翻返去個 palm 嗰度，係啦。呢隻腳係同一隻腳，Yeah, like that. Extend this one. Good. And push your hip back down. Yeah. So that would probably be a better drill for her than for her to go down to the elbow and popping that heel up. Okay. So very good. And we're gonna switch side. Okay. Okay, we can switch side now. Okay, back to the right foot forward. Narrow stand, so it should be inside of our palm. External rotate the thigh. If possible, go down to the elbow. If not, stay on your palm. Or even if you find this way too difficult, place that knee back down onto the ground. Okay, up to you. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very good. So, we have pretty much done all our passive stretch, and now time for a little bit more of an active movement. Okay, start our mobility session. First thing first, we're gonna go down into our dog position. Okay, your palm should be below your shoulder, and your knee should be below your hip. Okay, so from here, take a deep breath into your diaphragm. Remember, don't arch your back in this position, or else your lower back might be in pain afterward. Protect your lumbar. Okay, so from here, we're gonna decide which leg we're gonna use. For me, just for purpose of easier to shoot with the camera, we're gonna start with the left hand side, but for you, up to you, left or right, the same, okay? Take your body weight off that left leg, for me, okay? And then you wanna bring that knee forward. Bring it closer towards your belly button. And from this angle, you're gonna try to open your thigh, okay? Like a puppy or a dog going to the bathroom, okay? So from this angle, we're gonna rotate our heel up towards the sky. And when you're doing this motion, you should be feeling a lot of sensation in your glute. Your glute should be contracting a lot. It's almost like好似就快抽筋咁樣, okay? Like you're about to pull muscle. Create a lot of muscle contraction, okay? Tension in that muscle. Hold. Your heel should still be pointing towards the sky. And from this angle, we close our thigh. Bring the knee back down towards our other knee, slide it past the knee towards your belly button, and reverse the motion. With your heel, push it up towards the sky. Remember, don't arch your lower back. That is not the goal, okay? You're trying to contract your butt muscle, okay? From here, if your heel pointed up, like you're pushing the ceiling away with your heel, open your thigh, rotate, down. Now another tip when you're doing this drill is that if you can, look into the mirror. This is quite important. So for example, if I'm moving with my left leg and you see that I'm rotating towards my right, that is actually not correct. You're actually not moving your left femur head, you're actually moving your right. So make sure, look into the mirror when you open your thigh, okay, and rotate it upward. You should only be seeing one side of your butt instead of two, okay? So let's move back over here and continue. Let's do another 3 more in with this drill. So remember, lift that knee up, slide it past your belly button, keep that breath in your belly, open thigh as wide as you can. If this is as wide as you can, that's fine, don't worry. Your range of motion, your mobility will increase in time. Point your heel up towards the ceiling, push up like you're trying to push the ceiling away. A little bit more, Andrea. Yeah, there you go, now I can feel your butt. Good, hold, and close your thigh. From this angle, we let our knees slide back down, past our belly button, feel for our hip flexor, okay? And then reverse, push the ceiling away with our heel, open thigh, hold, 5, 4, 3, yeah, not too fast, 2, 1. Don't try to compensate your mobility with speed, okay? Then close our thigh back up. good. That's one. Let's reverse. Bring your knee forward. Open thigh. Point this heel up towards the ceiling. Close thigh. Slide back down slowly. Good. 2, push up. Good. Hold that breath in the core. Don't arch your back. Open thigh. Rotate. Point that knee towards your shoulder. If possible, try to level your hip. Close your thigh. One last time. Open thigh. Rotate. Point that heel up towards the ceiling. Close thigh. Let your knees point back down towards the ground and bring them past your belly button. And reverse one last time. On that left. Up. Open. Rotate. And close. Very good. That's done with the left. Let's move on to our right. Same drill. We're going to do it for 3. Okay, let's get rid of there. Grip the ground with your toes and forefoot. Okay, bring your knees up first. Open thigh. Rotate your walk until your heel is pointed towards the ceiling. Close thigh. Slide that knee past the belly button. From here, reverse. Push. Remember, feel for sensation. Just move. Feel for your muscle to contract and get actively controlled. Close. That's 1. Again, open thigh. Point that heel up towards the ceiling. Drive your heel up towards the ceiling. Feel for sensation. Close thigh. You should still have sensation in your butt. Back down. Knees past the belly button. Okay, reverse. Drive heel up. Feel for sensation. Open thigh. Stay focused on that hip. Rotate. And then back down. Okay, one last time. Open. Rotate. Drive your heel up. Close thigh. And then back down. All right. So after this 3, when you're at home, usually 3 is not very enough, but we're trying to conserve time here, so I'm only doing 3. When you're at home, try to practice up to 5 to 10 reps on each side. Okay, so the next drill will be our 90-90 with movement this time. Okay, so we're gonna start again in our 90-90 sit. Okay, our goal of this exercise, 90-90 sit switching position, is to place our body weight pressure onto our foot. Now, if you're having a lot of trouble, you can place your hand behind you, okay? That will take away some of the body weight. It will make you easier to move, transition into another position. But if you are having no trouble and you're fine, then stick your fist out in front of you, form a fist, squeeze hard. That will help you with some control. Okay, so from here, we are gonna apply weight into the outside of our foot and the inside of our foot. Okay, switch into a bear sit. Our toes should still be pointing up towards us. Okay, in this position, you should be feeling a lot of sensation in that hip flexor and in your core. Okay, don't hunch it in like this. Stay nice and tall. And switch to the other side and turn your body. Good. In this position, hold a little bit. Okay, 5, 4, 3. Remember, try to touch the ground with the outside or the inside of your thigh. Okay, 2, 1, and switch. Go into your bear sit, sit tall. So, okay, try to open your thigh a little bit more. Andrew, external rotate. 我轉個大髀多少少. Yeah, and then back, down. Okay, so from here, we're gonna hold for 5. Remember, try to touch the ground with both your thigh. 5, 4, 3, 2, and switch again. Go into our bear sit. Hold. 2, 1, and back down. From this is hold for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And again, we're going to switch position. Hold. Feel for sensation. Remember to do these exercises actively, not passively. If you're doing it well and you're doing it actively with contraction, you should start to feel that your hips getting really tired. And that's perfect. And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and and 1. So again, we'll be cutting it right here. However, when you're at home, remember, you can do it a little bit more. Go up to 5 to 10 reps on each side. So after this is done, now we're ready. Now we're ready for that squat to that 90-90. Okay, so we're gonna start by standing up. Always try to test your squat ability and your range of motion first. Remember, this exercise from squat to 90-90, we need a lot of range of motion to play with. If this exercise you're not ready for it yet, skip this drill. Repeat what we just practiced, okay? But if you feel like you're able to squat down low, your knee is able to pass your toe, your hamstring and your butt is very close to that Achilles tendon, okay? And your back, you're able to keep it upright, then you're ready for this drill, most likely. But if your squat form looks similar to this, okay? Your knee cannot slide forward, your butt is sticking out, your back is rounded, maybe this drill is not so good for you just yet, okay? Practice previous couple of drills and exercises, and in the near future, hopefully you can get back into our squat to 90-90, okay? Let's get started with the squat to 90-90. So start by standing up. Feet should be always around shoulder width level, okay? Take a deep breath, raise your core, okay? Don't arch your back. So from here, we're gonna squat as low as we can. Form a fist, and that will help you control a little bit. And in this position, we're gonna internal rotate with one of our legs. I'm gonna choose my left, okay? Internal rotate. Bring that knee close to your right foot. And from this position, we're gonna extend that foot back, boop, like so, and apply our body weight onto this leg. Now, if you're having trouble, if you put pressure into this foot and this ankle is screaming out in pain, remember, you can always lean back, take away some of your body weight with your hand. But if you're okay, then go ahead, sit down. And in this position, we're gonna try to pick up our foot, yeah, rotate it, place it in front of us into that 90-90 position, and with this foot, the back foot, lift it and place it back into that 90-90. Okay, we're gonna hold this position for around 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're gonna go into our bear sit. Remember, toes up, knees towards your shoulder, chest tall. Okay, switch to the other position, and from this position, which is pretty much reversing the whole drill. Point toe. Okay, and here comes usually the tricky part. Try to bring our heel and our foot in towards our bum. Lift and drag in. But if you're again having such a hard time, oh man, I can't control this, can I do it fast and can I jerk it in? Please don't do that. That is actually not mobility. You're using speed and jerky force to compensate for your weakness, and we're not trying to practice for that. So if you're having trouble, lightly lift up that leg with your hand, bring it in, okay? And in this position, with the other foot, place it close to your back leg. Shift your weight onto this side, placing your weight right here so that you can go back into your half squat position. Readjust to make sure you're able to grip the ground and external rotate your thigh. From this position, we're going to transition from our body weight from this side. We're going to transit to this. Let your knees travel forward, work on that dorsiflexion, lift that leg up, and then you're back in that squat form. And then you stand up, okay? Then you just finish one cycle. So let's repeat. Okay, back down, scroll back down. This time, let's use our right. Bring that right knee in. Go into extension and apply weight. Lift this foot up, bring that knee close to your shoulder so your hip flexor can be working actively. Lift and replace. And with this foot, we want to go back into our 90, so place your weight underneath your knee. Lift and replace and hold this position. Remember, your goal is to let your knees touch the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to transition into our bear sit. Pretty good. Hold that breath, nice and tall. Remember, not crunched over. Flip over to the other side. Fix yourself if you need be, okay? And reverse the whole process again. Point toe, lift up, drag in. Pretty good. So, and then replace foot close to you. Good. Shift weight into this leg. shift weight back towards the right. Let your knees travel forward, creating dorsiflexion. Then replace your left leg, go back into the squat form, and then you're allowed to stand back up. Okay, so we just did one cycle on both legs. When you're at home, please try to do at least 5 to 10. 1 to 2 is really not enough of an exercise, but because today we're trying to save a little bit more time with our video, so we're only doing 1 or 2. But when you're home, remember, go all the way up to 5 reps, 10 reps. And if in the future, and you're jotting down your workout journal, go up to 12, 15. Remember, you're trying to improve. You're not just trying to do 5 to hand in your homework because your mobility teacher said so. Okay? So, since we spent a lot of times on the ground today, we are gonna add in an extra exercise coming up. So this exercise is the same as pretty much the previous motion of us when we were on the ground doing our hip circles, okay? But we'll be doing it standing up this time. So, if possible, when you're at home, grab a broomstick or a mobility stick if you do have it, okay? If not, you don't even want to touch a broomstick, or hold on to a wall, or might give you the same similar stability. Okay, so first thing first, we're going to place our feet right beside each other. Big toe on the ground, try to spread your toes out. Okay, next place. So we're going to start with our left leg. So we're going to hold the stick with our right arm. Place the stick right beside our foot. Okay, and extend the top of the stick forward. So in this position, we're going to take a deep breath into our diaphragm, bracing our core. Okay, and then we're going to bring that knee up towards our belly button. So from this position, we are going to extend our heel out towards, upward towards our knee. So there's a wrong way of doing it and there's a right way of doing it. So please don't do this, pushing your knee downward. That's not what we're looking for. What we want to do is bringing our foot up towards our knee. So, now this exercise is going to be very hard for a lot of people because you're trying to take that muscle and bring it to the furthest range of motion you can while you're standing. So it will take a little bit more effort. So if your level right now, it's at this level, that's okay. As long as you're bringing your foot up towards the knee level. Okay, so after we have done so, finish extending. You might shake a little, and that's absolutely fine. That's just your muscle contracting. Finish, hold, open thigh. Make sure your knee and foot is aligned. Hold for 3 seconds and then extend out. Hold, 1, 2, 3, and back in. And so from this position, we're gonna rotate and push back with our heel. Now again, you're seeking sensation from your bum. Okay, push back. Now here's some tip. Please try not to lean forward when you're doing this drill. Okay, or else you're not doing exactly what we want. Okay, so open thigh. Finish your extension. Rotate. Push back with the heel. Hold this position, close your thigh, and drag your heel up towards your bum, front hamstring sensation. Then reverse the whole process. Push back with your heel, find sensation with your butt. Remember, try not to lean forward, try not to arch your lower back. One thigh, rotate it back up towards the ceiling. From this position, with your heel, extend, hold, kicking is fine. Hold as high as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring back in, back forward, and then extend one more time. Extend. 5, 4. So here's a great tip. When Andrew was doing the extension, bring it back in. Go ahead, up, and extend forward. You see that her bum slide forward like so, and that's actually a compensation of lack of strength in the hip flexor. So if you're having that trouble, instead of bring that leg super high up, regress, lower it a little bit. Because remember, you're not trying to chase someone else's mobility or range of motion. You're working with yourself. And if your range of motion for today is as high as this, work with that, okay? And slowly, over time, your ability should increase and you should be able to bring it up a lot higher, okay? So, after the one side, left-hand side finish, we're going to switch side to the right. So remember, now hold the stick with your left hand, your left leg sitting on the ground, and bring your right leg up. So from this angle again, take a deep breath into your diaphragm, extend that knee, So remember, heel up towards the knee level. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drag it back in. Lift the side of your thigh. Open it. You're pushing the corridor open. From here, rotate. Knees should be aligned. Sensation should be hit. Okay? Push back just a slight bit with your heel. Then close your thigh and drag your heel up towards the bump. Hold this position. Remember, don't arch your butt when you're doing this. Your butt should be below you, not behind you. Okay? Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push our heel back a little bit. Open thigh as much as you can. Feel for sensation inside glute. Take back up. Point your toes up towards yourself. It'll give you a really easy time to pull your flexion. Extend. Go for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back in. Back forward. Extend one more time. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in. Back down. Let's repeat it for another 2 more reps. Okay, when you switch back onto the left hand side, switching the stick to our right hand again. Okay, bring that knee up. Extend. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Track. Open. Side of the thigh. Like you're pushing something away or pushing the corridor open. Rotate. Push back with your heel. Feel for sensation in the hip. Close thigh. Once your knees are lined up, hook your heel up towards your bump. Feel for sensation in your hamstring. Push back with your heel. For sensation in your body. Open thigh. Hold. Rotate back up. Hold. A little bit more. Rotate. Passes your feet. Yeah, like that. Okay, and extend. Oh, shaky, shaky. That's okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back. Back forward. Extend one more time. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Second rep on that left hand side finish. Continue with our right. Again, switch over. Knee up. Hold that breath into your diaphragm. Heel towards the wall. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Thigh. Hold. Usually 2 or 3 seconds at least. 2, 3. Extend. Hold for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. From here, rotate, push back, feel for sensation. Close thigh, hook heel, find hamstring sensation. Remember, feel. See if your lower back is arching. Your lower back feels like this. Definitely wrong. Keep it tight. And a good tip is as you're hooking that heel up towards your bump, try to make sure your pubic bone, okay, is pointing up towards your belly button. Obviously, we don't want to punch in like so, but we don't want to punch either. So in this position, right heel, push back a little bit, for sensation, and high, for sensation, and rotate until your knee is up towards the ceiling. Remember to point your toes up towards the ceiling as well. Extend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Track. Back forward. 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Remember, we're doing 3 today. When you're at home, do more. Go up to 5, 10, 12, 15, up to you, depending on your level. Okay? Again, up, knees up towards the knee level. Hold. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Back in. Open thigh. Hold that breath. Diaphragm. Rotate and push back until you can feel the side of your butt burning a little bit. Close thigh. Hook heel. Remember when you hook heel, don't arch your back. Okay? Drop foot. Push back a little until you can feel your butt activated. Open thigh. Rotating back up all the way. And extension. Here comes the hard part. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back in. Back forward. And one last time. Extend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All done on that left. Let's do one last time on that right. Okay, so from this position, again, your toes, knee up, towards the belly button level, heel towards knee level. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Back in, open thigh, hold. 1, 2, 3, extend, hold for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Back in. Rotate and push back. Feel for your hip. 2, 1, close side. Hook your heel towards your bum. Find hamstring contraction sensation. And push back a little bit. Open thigh. Rotate. Till your knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. Extend. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Back in. Back forward. One last extension. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. All right. Okay, so thank you for joining us in our mobility class. Thank you for joining from Hong Kong, Phillip, Wain, Inspire Group, Malay and Thai member. Also, thank you for joining us. Keep up with your exercise at home. Keep working out. And my suggestion is always when you practice mobility, strength training, whatever the case, please jot it down in your journal so you can see where you're improving, or if you have further questions, bring it to your coach, bring it to your class teacher and ask them about it. Hopefully we'll be seeing you soon in class in person. And again, thank you so much.